Yeah.
Yeah.
We are. That's true. But I like.
Yeah, I thank you for asking. I'm having a great festival. It's been busy.
Yes, I can understand. There's a ton of bands, and like, it's fun. England has always been the place, I guess, for us, like as Swedish people, I suppose. It's very close geographically, but it's also like a completely different, like, geographical, and like different bands and different styles of metal and hard rock compared to like Sweden, who's maybe a little bit more like Germany, and Central Europe in that sense. And it's cool to come here and like experience all these bands like in different variations than what you're used to at German festivals or Swedish festivals or Danish festivals. It's cool.
But Sweden's got quite a eclectic mix of music.
I think so too. We're brothers, so we grew up listening. Well, maybe not listening as much as we kind of were in the middle of it. The revival of death metal back in the late '90s and early 2000s. So we're both from Gothenburg, which is right across the water from here, essentially, right? And death metal became very popular. With a lot of these bands that got really huge in the US and in the rest of the world, and I think experiencing that was very different compared to like if we had lived 20 years prior and lived through hair metal or classic rock or whatever. But that's what I think. That's when I think of Sweden, I think of that mainly. I don't think as much about ABBA, maybe anymore.
That's got me since my childhood, ABBA.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, my sisters used to play it non-stop.
Yeah, of course.
Like, please just kill me now. I will introduce yourselves. I'm Dave Cyderbaby. I'm from Rock Radio UK. We are at Stonedead Festival. This is Eclipse. Hi guys.
Hi, how are you?
Yes. What a stellar set. I know I say it to all the guys, but best set of the day. Honestly, I mean, I was blown away.
I'll take it. I'm not that multi-layered, or we're not that multi-layered. We'll take it.
Just take it.
We'll suck it up like sponges. No, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of, I think with, there was some type of rain.
Yeah, it was a little unlucky with the rain.
Wet rain.
You start the kind of the show and the heavens just opened and poured rain, cats and dogs. So.
Was that planned?
Yes.
It was?
Yes. So we don't work a lot with like pyrotechnics and stuff. Okay. So we tend to use, pray to the Norse weather gods instead.
Exactly.
And that's how we ended up having...
It's way cheaper.
Yeah. We actually asked for thunder. It is way cheaper.
Especially here in UK.
It is easy. Just snap your fingers and down it comes. Yeah. But, aside from the weather, inclement weather.
Yeah.
What a set. Cracking set. I mean...
Thank you.
Also, I've got to say, you've got a new album out, about 3 weeks' time?
Yeah, part 2. Yeah, Megalomania part 2. That's right. We were supposed to come here for part 1 as well, I think, last year, but we kind of cramped everything as much as we could into that touring cycle. And we also knew that Stonedead would happen this year, so we're really happy to have this as it's the first Eclipse gig on English soil.
Since Brexit, I believe.
Before that, yeah. Really? Okay, well, look at that. Yeah, so it's been many years. 2016, right?
I remember it well.
2017 or something, yeah. No, I think that we've always, there are always a lot of English people and Welsh people and Northern Irish people and Scottish people at shows that we play around the world. But it's nice to finally come here and play in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, I've come to the media game a bit later on, sort of like just prior to COVID, and I found you part 1 and stuff like that, everything since then, and I was like, when can I get a chance to see these guys play? So now, it's a dream fulfilled. Thank you.
Fantastic.
That's it. I can retire. I can go home.
Same feeling here. So okay. Really pleased about it. No, but it was really lovely, and I think we kind of. What we do, especially like festival season, like when you play in the summer, it's a different thing compared to when you play club shows and tours and stuff, right? So you're on a bill with all these amazing bands, like like today, or I think for us it's just like we know that we want to do our thing, and that's kind of played together because we do that and we look at each other, we kind of have a go at it and we smile and we enjoy the riffraff that kind of
Yeah.
comes from it, and whether or not there's no rainstorm, thunderstorms, or rain, or whatever it might be, like that's not a problem. The whole point is that we're there together with the crowd and we can experience it together.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Also, it's quite a mix of bands on the bill today.
Sure.
And I'm sure, just looking around, I purposely looked at the crowd, and everybody was digging the vibe of your show.
That's fantastic.
And I'm sure you've made some new fans today, without a doubt.
I hope we did, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, let's go home.
We're going on. No, but you're right. And I think for the people that have not heard, I mean, there are quite a lot of people in the world, you know, very much like a lot of people in the world have not yet heard Eclipse. So we're seeing Eclipse for that matter.
Yeah.
So I think if you can come out of that show or watching our show and with a smile on your face and thinking that gave you energy in some way, then that is exactly what we set out to do. So,
Absolutely.
and I think that's what, you know, when we closed out the set today, we looked at, you always look out over the crowd, and hopefully, you know, in this day in particular, like a lot of people were smiling and looked like they had a good time. So that is all that we can kind of hope for.
excellent. So what's next for you guys then?
Well, we are. What do you want to do it?
Well, the next thing is the tour and the release of the new album, Megalomanium 2, which is out on September 20th.
Correct.
Yeah. And then a tour, and a small, minor tour in especially Germany, right?
Well, so the story is that we, back in 2022, we were making a new album.
Yeah.
Right? As, you know, a lot of bands were. But for us, we ended up writing more songs than maybe that we needed. So we toured in Australia.
Yeah.
Which is even crazier that we actually ended up in Australia before we came back to the UK, which is it's a long way. Yeah, it's a long way.
It appear too rude.
No, you know what? I actually think we went there twice.
No.
Oh, no way.
Just once. But
Really?
we were in Australia. It was early January in 2023, and we were at a bar in Sydney, and I believe it was like the last night before we were about to go home. We had done a tour there, and we were we thought it was a great idea to decide what songs to go on the album at the pub, in a pub in Australia.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, usually that's where business takes place. So we couldn't cut it with like 11 songs. We couldn't cut it with 15. We couldn't cut it with 17. We decided to go with like 22 or 23 songs, right?
Right.
And that's when we kind of decided, like, what's maybe like strategically in this climate of releasing music and releasing singles and albums and whatever you do, the most stupid thing you can do is to release like a double album.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Let's do that.
But
we always wanted to do that, though.
yeah, it's a dream, you know. Everyone grew up with, you know, like hard rock and metal. You grew up with Use Your Illusion. You kind of, you know, had that thing
exactly.
in the 90s.
And a lot of people see this as a, you know, soul album, but I think we look at it more as a double record. It's part of this is the second part of the first one, you know, so it's connected.
So the songs that were on
Yeah.
the record we released last year, which is called Megalomanium, right?
Well, it's actually called Megalomanium 1.
Yeah, because there's a 1 in the title.
But no one.
Okay.
I think I was one guy who actually saw it at the album cover art. It's a Megalomanium, so the I is actually a 1.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And I think it was only one guy. It's like, this looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
And that's that.
It was one guy though, so it was fine. But
Yeah.
no, but
And when we released the cover art for the Megalomanium
2.
Part 2,
Yes.
everyone was like,
That makes
how
sense.
the fuck did we miss this? 'Cause,
Language, English radio. Yeah.
No, fine.
How the bloody A?
Yes. Exactly. No, but it was exactly. So for us, we had this clear-cut plan of what we wanted to do over the course of these like 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
And the songs were set, like all the songs were written at the same time. Everything was kind of recorded and fixed and polished at the same time. So we had this like fantastic thing of just like having the work cut out for us, and it was done and ready, and okay, so this will be our next 2 years, right? Which is very rare, because I think like most bands, and we as well, like work like with smaller time frames, right? But this time it was more. It felt exciting to have something that we could kind of take and, you know, maybe go a little bit more crazy with certain songs and certain, like, you know, arrangements and stuff. Instead of thinking like you want to make an album with 11 singles, so you want to make like 2 albums with 22 singles instead. So so it's kind of like that was the idea, but they're all kind of different in a sense. And the way we decided upon the track list and everything, like, I think that when you listen to Megalomania Part 1 and Megalomania Part 2, which is out on September 20th, it will come together pretty nicely, hopefully, for the average rock listener and rock fan.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So people can pre-order Part 2 now?
They absolutely can.
Yeah. Where can they get that?
They can get it at eclipsemerch.com.
That's eclipsemerch.com.
And you could choose if you want it signed or if you want it, you know, modified in any way with a, you know, we have
no returns.
No returns. That's his thing. Yeah.
I can assure you won't want to return it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. No, but you can get it there, and it will be sent out so that you have it on September 20th.
Okay.
As I say, around.
Yes, exactly. That's how we work in the logistics industry.
Around.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to tell yourself.
No, of course not. But we have, what we're going to do is we're going to actually go out in Central Europe and play a few shows, like 10 shows in September when the album is released, and then we're going to America, and then we have some other European shows around the rest of the year. Unfortunately, nothing in England as of now. But next year is looking very hopeful. I mean, I just spoke to some guy. We had a signing session, and I talked to a guy who was there, and I was like, is it a good idea to come to England in like December? And he said, no, definitely avoid it. Don't go here and tour in December. Like, come in April or let's say September.
I'd say that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's everywhere, you know? That's like,
it's pretty much everywhere.
Exactly.
People are buying Christmas presents, they don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. So,
although an Eclipse album for Christmas would be a good.
That is exactly. That's the best gift you can ever give anybody, probably.
I'll be waiting patiently for mine.
Absolutely, yeah. Toss down the chimney.
Okay.
No, absolutely. So we have there's work to do, places to be and things to see. So we're looking forward to it and doing it. In Europe and England and everywhere else where we can bring our music and hopefully make people feel energized by it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Guys, I won't hold you up any longer, but thank you for such a stellar set today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, man. Thank you.